Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're returning. It's Fiery Moon and I'm here to do the general collective weekend vibe reading. um it is August 1st as I'm recording this reading. We currently have Sun in Leo, Moon in Scorpio. Venus has also moved into Cancer. I want to say it's at about, excuse me, 1 degree right now, if that. But everything else is still where it's been. Mercury and Leo, retrograde. Mars and Venus, Jupiter and Cancer, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which is retrograde as well, and Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, and that is also retrograde. So yeah, I was guided to start out with the tea leaf oracles. I am going to do some of the mixed emotions, and we'll just go with the flow of the reading as it goes. So let's jump right on in and see what's going on. What messages of guidance, healing, love, truth, acceptance, wisdom, understanding, as well as protection do we need as it pertains to the collective and the energy surrounding this weekend. I'm gonna mix these up a little bit. Before we get started, it's been a while since I feel like it's been a while since I did a reading, because I haven't recorded all week. Yeah. Oh, I guess this is just a quick little message. What fell out was the butterfly change for the better. Yeah, honestly, I just been, having a lot to take care of in my, personal life, so that's why. But yeah, let's see what's coming up. What's going on, Spirit? What do we need to know as it pertains to the energy for this weekend? Happy August. It is the first day of August. It's still Leo season, but let's see what's going on. Ooh. Alright, so we have the owl coming out, which is like the high priestess energy. And it says, good advice from a wise person. So you could be this owl, or you could be receiving, some type of advice from an owl. What I'm hearing, we have a dark man on the bottom. It says about. That's what I'm hearing. And it says dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. And then we have pay attention. We have the cane at the bottom. Pay attention to your health. For some of you, it almost feels like this could be an energy that may be coming to you for some type of guidance or assistance. Can I get another one? I was drawn to the beard on that card, so this person could have a beard. They don't have to, but they could. What else do we need to know, Spirit? What else is going on for the collective as it pertains to this energy for the weekend? This is too many. So then we have the nest. And that says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Which that makes me feel like the Venus and Cancer energy right now. Some of you, this could even just pertain to your home. So we have the bow coming out, which says you are highly thought of. And you know, Cancer is, you know, that home energy. And that's where Venus is, how we, you know, love the things, people, and places that we value. Then we have the yoke, which says feeling tied down or frustrated. This is making me think of like an ox energy. I don't feel like that's your energy. Yeah, for some of you, you can just be feeling tied down with work. We have career at the bottom. But for some of you, the way that I'm feeling it is like someone is, this is how, you know, I almost feel like someone is looking at you, especially if you're in this owl / high priestess energy. I feel like someone is, you know, thinking of you as like almost like a safe place with the nest energy, and they're in this yoke energy within their own life. Cards just went crazy. So then we have happiness, which is like the sun. And then we have love coming out, which is, it says astral houses on this card. And that to me can signify the 7th house. So this may have something to do with your relationships, or, you know, partners, or just how you relate to other people. It doesn't have to exclusively be romantic, but for some of you it is. It's giving me Gemini energy, and like as a confirmation, they're giving me they're playing the song Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places by Jaheim, who is a Gemini. And then we have January at the bottom. So Capricorn season could be significant. This is almost making me feel like it's a King of Pentacles energy for a masculine. This happy card is making me feel like the Sun card, which is Leo energy, which is the energy that we are currently in. But yeah, I feel like for you, if you're the watcher, you're in this owl energy. And like I said, someone could be, you know, like almost in an energy of, you know, looking at you as like a safe place, a place, or person, you know, a place too, like that is safe, that is very loving and nurturing. Someone that is like emotionally and almost spiritually wise, where they're, you know, struggling with this yoke energy. It could be a Leo, they don't have to be. But I do feel like for some of you, if you're that owl energy, you would be the feminine energy, and like almost you have, you know, that's your focus is on, you know, like in a way tending to your garden with that nest energy, taking care of home, of, you know, the things that are important to you, because Venus is, you know, it's how we value, appreciate, and love people, places, and things. I have a Venus in Cancer, so I can definitely attest to this energy right now, and it feels so like it's like almost as soon as the planet hit, I was just like hit with like a wave of ease and calm. Especially with it being with Jupiter being in Cancer as well. But let's see. I'm gonna use these a little different this time. So we'll see what's going on, Spirit. What messages do we need as it pertains to the collective and the energies surrounding this weekend? So, bottom of the deck we have encouraged. And that says heartened, emboldened, and supported. Yeah, this is definitely making me feel like the Chariot energy. So if you're that feminine energy, I feel like it's just more confirmation of the High Priestess energy that you may be in right now. Where it's almost like, you know, Spirit is backing you, like it's pushing you. And that feels good. We have surprised, which is the Tower card. It says startled, astonished, or shocked. Then we have trapped, which says imprisoned, cornered, or stuck. And then we have receptive, open, accepting, and welcoming with peaceful. It says calm, serene, and centered. Yeah. Then we have trust at the bottom. So what this is making me feel like, and I'm just laughing because, you know, certain things like are just, you know, like it always makes me think of The Hangover, where what's his name, Zach Galifianakis, or Nakis, however you say his last name, where he always says, it's funny because it's true, but you know, it's just so crazy that, you know, like this is like, it's funny because I feel like for some of you, if you're feminine energy, you know, you're working with Spirit, you know, Spirit is backing you, like you're on your way, you're in your chariot, quote unquote, and you know, you're moving forward. And I almost feel like this surprised energy, it doesn't feel like a bad tower, but it feels like something that, you know, may possibly come in for you this weekend, or, you know, in the near future, whenever. But for some of you, it could have happened already, but I don't feel like it does, like it has for the majority of you. But it feels like there's something that is coming in that's going to like almost try to, I don't want to say like disrupt your peace. But for some of you, it could be just that. But it's coming from this trapped energy, which is feeling like it's tied to this yoke energy. This could be a masculine energy, like that can suddenly like decide to like reach up or reach out or pop up. And because they're in this trapped energy, they're looking to receive. You know, they want something from you. I want to say, like, that's you know, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, it's almost like they want to receive, or they're looking to receive, and you're in this peace energy, this peaceful energy, this peaceful space or place within yourself, where it's almost like whoever's in this trapped energy, this masculine, is like in search of that. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but you're focused. Like, I can feel it. You're focused, you're driven, you're, moving with, like, it's almost like, because the word they're giving me is fortress. Like, you're full on life. You're, solid, grounded, both physically and emotionally, and you're moving forward. So I really don't like this here, but you never know. Like I said, all towers aren't bad. You know, regardless of how, people always make it seem like, oh, the towers. No, sometimes surprises could be good surprises. But let's see. Can I get one for the owl? The owl. Why is the owl here? Now, I will say, if this is someone, this high priestess, if you're on the other end of this, you could be the one that's in this yoke energy, and you're seeking out this owl energy. Or at least they're in thought. And they're saying what you had. Some of you could have had happiness and love with this person if you're resonating as this yoke energy. I know some people don't like that. Like, and let me say another thing, because, like, I've never understood this. Every reading is not for you. Just like everything and everybody is not for you. So if you come to someone's channel that didn't solicit you, yes, I'm aware that this is a public platform and things are up for public opinion. But you really have to think, like, you're not going to be on the good side of every reading. You're going to be on one side or on the other, and it can't be both. At least in my opinion, as far as both goes. You have to be one or the other, unless it's a reading where it's tailored to you. And normally, if you're watching a good reader, they're able to separate the energies and let you know. And also explain when it's a reading where this is the energy that's happening within you. Just, you. But that leads me to say, if you come on somebody's channel and you watch a reading and you don't like the side you're on, there's no need to thumbs down or dislike that content. It just wasn't for you. Like, point blank, period. It didn't have to resonate with you. You didn't have to watch it. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer and let people know, like, I don't care, but you watched the reading. You just didn't like what you heard 9 times out of 10. But because you felt some type of way, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to dislike the tarot reading. If it wasn't for you, like they say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Keep going. If you like it, you like it. But, like, to intentionally have some type of gripe with a stranger who doesn't know you in your life and you know more about it. Yes, I know it can be triggering, and we don't like to hear about ourselves in a way that's not always positive. That's something that shows you that, you know what, there's still some work I need to do. So instead of reinforcing it by hitting the dislike button or the thumbs down, take that time and be self-reflective. Take that minute, that second, to be self-reflective of yourself and why you're feeling that way. You're feeling that way because it did resonate with you. You just didn't like it. That's not what the dislike button is for. Like, I don't even know why they even have it, because if you didn't like it, just move on. I don't think I've ever hit the dislike button on any reading. If I didn't like a reading, or if I didn't like any video, not even tarot reading, I keep going. And if I like it, I give the person their respect by liking it. But to me, the dislike button is disrespectful, in my opinion. So I did just want to put that out there, because it just made me think about that. And yes, I did have one. And no, I wasn't mad, but it brought this back up for me, so that's why I'm clearing it up now. I mean, I don't care. You didn't have to like it. If that's what you felt right to solidify like yourself, or to try to justify, or cope with you not liking it, cool. But 9 times out of 10, tarot readers are doing a service. We're doing a service for those that want it. And 9 times out of 10, when you look at my title, you know if it's a reading for you, because I'm guided to you to get those titles, and my guides give me titles for that reason. Sometimes you don't even have to look at a reading to get the confirmation or the guidance that you're looking for. You can just read the title. So I would just, reevaluate yourself. But back to the reading. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with this owl energy spirit? This owl energy. Tell me about this owl. All right, we have the hopeless energy coming out. And this makes me feel like, yeah, for some of you, if you're this owl energy, you could be seeing people like in a hopeless state. I feel like because the owl sits high. They are, birds that, you will never see an owl walking on the ground. They sit perched high in a tree, and they're very observant. So it's almost like, I feel like, and it's not in a way of looking down in degrading or derogatory sense, but I feel like for some of you, if you are this owl / high priestess, like you're almost picking up and witnessing this energy within the collective. Yeah, because look, we have comforted at the bottom. You're seeing people like in search of or in need of comfort energy. Can I get one for this yoke? Why is this yoke here? I told you guys, for some of you, this tower is, coming in from or because of whoever is in this energy. We have the surprise card. Which is, like I said, that tower energy where this person, they could be going through a tower moment right now. I'm going to get another one for each one. But it feels like, yeah, they're going through, or they're either going through a tower moment right now, or, and if so, like they could even be coming in and causing a tower moment for you. I don't feel, like I said before, like that it feels negative, but it's just like a catching you off guard. Like it may startle you a little bit. Yeah, see? We have relieved coming out, another one for this owl, where it's almost like you're, seeing people that are in search for relief. Look, people that are looking to receive, and I'm here, I just heard the words, I come to you. So, people could be coming to you looking for some type of alleviation, whether it's multiple people or just one person. But like I said, it's almost like they're giving me the word safe haven for these people or this person. Like when people are going through it, you're the first person that comes to mind for some of you. Yeah, because it's like you have the peace that everyone is seeking with receptive and peaceful. Can I get another one for surprised? Why is surprised here? Shout out to Fab, because I was drawn back to this January card where I said this felt like a masculine energy with January, and he has a mixtape called Cold Summer. And then that's what it feels like. Whoever is in this yoke energy, that's what they're experiencing. They're like experiencing wintertime and the summertime, which is like, that's not fun. Like it's a very the word my guides are actually saying brutal time for this person. In a way, like they could be facing like, some type of lack or scarcity of something, lacking, resources, lacking care. Like, can I get another one for this yoke energy, please? Yeah, we have proud, which says victorious, accomplished, and masterful. So it's like this person is having like, and y'all know for me, like the proud card, yes, it reminds me of the Six of Wands, which is an energy of walking, very heading towards a victory, being, very confident within yourself. But with this energy, it almost feels like, it's tied to like pride and ego. So I feel like this person has some type of ego blow when it comes to, look, happiness and love and happiness. It could even be just like a realization of how they have been moving through, like with a very haughty spirit or energy. Can I get one more for proud? And I'm hearing like I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing now they want to show you off, which is this is someone that you were in relationship with. Maybe they, wanted to always be the one to be seen, or to, portray the image that they were like the quote unquote winner in a situation. But I almost feel like this is a very humbling experience. But also for some of them, they're realizing how accomplished you are. And it's shocking them that, like seeing where they're at compared to where you're at. Can I get another one for proud, please? Almost in like a way like you freed yourself. Yeah. Because then we have exhausted. Coming out for proud, where like, yeah, this person can't uphold that ego. It says fatigued, drained, and spent. They can't continue to hold up this energy. It's actually a lot of work for them. Where for you, it's like if they're looking at you in the, through the lens of you being victorious, it's almost like they're shocked that you're not exhausted. Like, shocked that it hasn't worn you out. But when you are, in tune with yourself, you are yourself, you live a life of, ease. There's not much friction in your life when you're able to move as a high priestess. Like it's almost like you really don't have to do anything. Where, trying to move and be and work within like this prideful nature for this person, it's almost like they view love and relationships as like, or they made it, excuse me, my guys are correcting me, they made it like work, and that's not how it should be. It should be an even flow of energy. Yep, and like I said, this is just confirmation. Like, how are you able to keep going? But look what's backing you. You got support. You're supported and moving in the way and the direction that you're going. Yep, I can't make this shit up. And it's almost like this person is like angry or bitter at what you're getting. Like you're like what you're receiving. And again, it's peace. Like peace and comfort, everything that they're looking for. But that's not a you problem. Life is only complicated if you make it that way. It doesn't have to be, and it's not naturally like that. What tarot deck do I want? Oh, I don't know, y'all. And we're going for it. Because I feel like tapping in. We're going to go with the Disney villains. What's going on, Spirit? What messages do we need as it pertains to the collective and the energy surrounding this weekend? What's going on? For some of you, my guys are telling me that this person could have turned their back on you and making it, like almost seem as if you turned your back on them. But with the way that those cards were just turned and I had to turn them back, that's what they said. They turned on you. So, So, I mean, the only other, I don't know, like, if someone turns their back on you, you have no, like, the only other choice there is to shift your focus. But this could be an energy that kind of, like, wants or wanted you to, like, chase them, but you're not. Or you didn't. so bottom of the deck we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter energy, and right now it is in Cancer. So like I said, it is conjunct in this Venus energy. Ooh, felt it. So here's the Queen of Swords. With the Hangman. And the Two of Swords. With the Five of Cups. So like I said, for some of you, yes, you are definitely Five of Cups, hold on, the Eight of Swords. And then the Hierophant is at the bottom. And so for some of you, yes, you are being viewed as this Queen of the feminine energy. She's showing up as a Queen of Swords, which, you know, the Queen of Swords still is, you know, it's air energy. So it's connected to the owl. Like I said, we have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords. So what this is making me feel like is like, and yo, I can't make this shit up. Shout out to Fab, because this is that energy. Although I'm still feeling it like a King of Pentacles, I'm not sure if he's going to show, but this Hangman is Pisces energy. And it is, like I said, there's someone that is viewing you as someone who it has, like, you know, has high intelligence, has is very has a lot of wisdom. There's someone who, like a Queen of Swords, you would definitely go to for advice. She's normally looked at sometimes as like you know, a counselor or a teacher of some sort, along with the Queen of Cups, which would technically, at least for me, make the energy of an High Priestess, someone that has emotional, you know, very high emotional intelligence. But then we have the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. And what this makes me feel like is like, especially with the Two of Swords, it's normally, it could be a card of like two conflicting truths. It could be a card of blocking or like almost resisting. And it's almost like this person does, like, could be in this state, I'll say, of the Two of Swords, and not wanting to look at this Five of Pentacles energy, like not wanting to deal with, you know, possibly the hurt, regret, the loss of, you know, either you or the connection that they had to you. For some of them, especially with that Trapped card that we seen, with the Eight of Swords here, yeah, they, like, I hope like they're not in jail, like physical jail. But the Eight of Swords is normally, you know, it's a mental prison. It's a prison of their own making. Where, like, for some of you, I almost feel like this person could like to play the victim, or if this is you, like, it is what it is. You like to play the victim in your situations and act like, you know, and not want to face that reality, because that's what the Two of Swords is too. But with the Hangman, this person is, you know, waking up to a new perspective. They're seeing you differently. They're realizing, like, in a way, like, I hate saying it like this, but it, like, I just have to say it the only way that's coming to me. Like, you have the answers, like, and not saying that you have all of the answers, but for what they need, it's like they see that within you, and they see that it's expanding with the Wheel of Fortune. Like, for some of you, you could have, like, just moved into this energy for yourself, where you're being more wise. And I want to say, like, she doesn't even have a sword on this card, but where a Queen of Swords normally, you know, her truth, she's very clear and direct, and she always has her sword. But in this deck, she's holding like a piece of paper. So it's almost like, if you're a feminine energy, you could be silent, and it feels like your silence is almost deafening for this person. especially if you're not talking. Your silence is speaking value. And it's almost like with the Hierophant, yeah, this person is learning a lesson of value with the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, which is what you're focused on. So this is almost even giving me like teacher-student vibes. Like by what you're focused on and how you're like moving through life, you're showing this person what value, in a way, what it looks like to be valued, to, you know, be of value to another person, place, or thing, and to like almost cultivate value by investing in whatever, you know, whatever those values may be for you. So can I get one for hopeless and relieved? Why is hopeless and relieved here for the collective? I can't make this shit up, y'all. The Hangman. That's at the bottom. Yep, and death. With the High Priestess. This is a grand water trine. This energy, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So for some of you, you could have a gift, if you're a feminine energy, of, you know, being able to help people, you know, like work through their fears, their, you know, their emotions. Giving people like a new way to look at them via the Hangman, which we have the North Node in Pisces right now. And it's almost like this person is having a change in perspective by, again, like viewing you, having you in thought as they're going through this transformation, and like almost at a crossroads with the Two of Wands on either if they want to move towards you with the Eight of Wands, or like reach out to you, communicate. Because here's that yoke energy, the Ten of Wands. Some of them are realizing that the decision that they made actually caused a transformation in, like, again, the way that they were relating with you. Because the 2 to the 8 is, you know, it makes the 10, but it's also by way of the 6. And then they cause this exhaustion, this, like, that yoke energy with the Ten of Wands. It's like this person created a burden. And now it's almost like they're, with the Seven of Wands, they're like on the, like they're on the outside looking in. It's almost like, I feel like for some of you, especially if you're this High Priestess, like this person, for some of them, I do feel like an energy of like resentment, where they could be like trying to like poke the bear for a reaction. But that's not gonna happen, because you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy. Can I add another one for hopeless and relieved? Yep. Yep, so what they're looking for is this Queen of Cups, who is the epitome of, you know, love, nurture, and care energy. This, if home was a person, it would definitely be the Queen of Cups. So it's a, you know, it's that nest energy. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, because it's what they're in search of. Because wherever they're at right now emotionally, they like there's nothing fulfilling there for them. And I get one other one for this Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Looked over again, the World, yeah. Which speaks to, you know, completions, new beginnings, yep. Again, and for some of you, it's like you're taking on the role, what I'm feeling with the Hierophant, of like a teacher. Like you're going, like your world has evolved you into this energy. It's like a lesson, the lesson of value is what you're giving. And it's two, like they said, two fixed energies. So the fixed signs are Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. So you could be like people that are very fixated and rooted in a certain way of being. You could be ushering this lesson too just by being you. And right now we have the fixed energy here with the Sun in Leo, the Moon in Scorpio, and Pluto in Aquarius, which that's what this Tower feels like. It's opposing the Sun right now, and it's squaring the Moon. So can I get one for surprised and proud? Yeah, we have the Seven of Cups coming out for surprised. Yeah, I feel like there's an illusion being shattered for this person with the Seven of Cups. And they're wanting to, like, it's almost like if they've been in an energy of like procrastinating as this Knight of Pentacles, or you know, moving very slow, their life is about to like speed up for them in a way that they may not like. And then they're going to have to leave something behind, whatever is weighing them down, in order to come towards, we have the Two of Cups. Some of them could even be realizing like their past relationships I can't even get my words out. Oh, I can't wait for Mercury retrograde to be over. But sometimes like I said, this person looks at relationships, or they could look at love, or their past relationships have been like a form of prison for them with the Devil energy here, some type of restriction or limitation. And then with the yeah, it's the past with the Six of Cups. So they always they were non-committal. They wanted to like flee, or they would flee as a Knight of Wands. But then again, here you are showing them a lesson of what it means to be committed as the Hierophant, because that's what the Hierophant can represent also. Or they could have gotten in connections that ultimately slow them down, and then they always end with regret. For some of them, they're having this realization like this is what they do, so this is why they're feeling as tied down or exhausted as they are feeling, because they are connecting with, you know, other people that are not healthy for them via the Devil. or it could just be like how they feel. They feel like it, like, and it's so weird. Like it gives them a sense of control to have these type of connections, but ultimately it like stunts their growth. Because it's almost like they either want it like a certain way with the Seven of Cups, like they have wishful thinking, but it's almost like not realistic. So it gives them like, or they move out of a false sense of ego. Can I get one for the Proud card, please? Why is the Proud card here? Wait a minute. The Proud card. Proud with exhausted. Yep. I said, didn't I say the Five of Coins? But this is actually, no, this is actually the Four of Coins. I did say the five, but this is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. They were like almost like being controlled by their ego. Like holding, like it's almost like this person was holding themselves back, especially with the Six of Swords here. Can I get another one for the Four of Coins? Yeah. We have the Ace of Cups. They've been holding back emotionally. Almost in a way like restricting themselves from experiencing like true unconditional love by being in this energy. Bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, and it's actually been like a source of stress. So with the Nine of Swords and the Star, they're needing alleviation. Like it almost feels like especially like an energy of like needing validation, like needing or wanting to be valued by others, but that's not the same as love. Or a way to get it. Like in a way to like the way that they would move through life or act is as if they were trying to make someone love you. Like, or like in a forceful way where they were not giving. They like were controlling their tap, but wanted everybody else's tap to be turned all the way on. Because even with the Star card, it's like, you know, it's giving me that energy of like, you know, mirror, mirror on the wall. What's that in Snow White? They needed like their need for validation and recognition has been like their blockage. And what they're needing to heal from, that mindset, that mentality. For some of you, like I almost feel like, especially they're drawing me back here to the World, and I'll get one. Like this person wants to come like back around, and we are in Mercury retrograde. Can I get one for this World energy? Yep, the Six of Swords, wanting to come back. And there's that Queen of Swords who's on the Queen of Swords in this deck. Is her energy. Yeah, this person wants to come back around towards this feminine energy. But they're like trying to weigh the options with the Seven of Coins. What's up under that? Like on how to make it work. Yep. How can they come back in? The Seven of Coins and the Magician. I would watch out for this person if I was you. Just because if they have to do this, like almost like devise a plan. For some of them, though, they could just be like trying to muster up a time to call or reach out with judgment here. So, like I said, it's not all bad. But it's almost like with the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess, this person wants you, yeah. Because you have it. You have it. That's what my guy said, you have it, the Ten of Cups. It's almost like somebody that wants to like share in the Ten of Cups with you, but use your own discernment. Give me one for the Hangman. And then we'll grab the guidance and advice. And can I get one for this exhausted? Yeah, this person, they don't want, we have the sun coming out for exhausted. And like I said, I felt that energy. Like this could have been someone who always wanted to be like front and center, the center of attention, always wanting to be like looked at and validated, and almost, they're saying, ogled over. But they're realizing with the sun clarifying, exhausted, like that shit is burnt out. That shit don't work no more. It's burnt out. So they're having like a reality check. They're having to reality check themselves as the King of Swords. But what we have for the Hangman, yep, the Five of Wands. Yeah, and this person's been like at an internal, or they've been having an internal battle with themselves. So with them being, you know, the King of Swords and having that reality check, they're looking to see, or, you know, they're being shown, I'll say, the Six of Pentacles, which is the give and take, or what give and take is supposed to be like, and how to establish a solid foundation of self, or even with another person, but more so of self. And just being, you know, secure in who they are. Like their feminine side is Queen of Wands. Like that's the energy they are moving out of. Someone that wants to be like, it's like they're using their feminine energy to, you know, like in a way where they're wanting to receive like this, like praise and recognition, and but it's burnt out. Like it's that it doesn't you have to look at yourself that way, and then when you do, like, you naturally, people will naturally see you as you are. But if you have to force it, it's not real. Can I get one? Give me one more for the sun. Where we at? The sun. Can I get one for the sun, please? Yep, told you. King of Swords. There it is. Confirmation. Yeah, they don't want it no more. They've become bored and discontent with that energy because it's not giving them the, you know, it's not fulfilling, and it's not. Let's grab the guidance and advice. I'm going to use the Sacred Creators Oracle. and advice, Spirit. They're telling me to go back to this energy over here, the King of Swords, because it's almost like this person is seeing like almost what they, and being in this energy, what they almost actually attract is, and I know that this is the Queen of Coins, but the depiction is what I'm drawn to. It's almost like they realize that they're drawn to, like, or what they attract is the same type of person that they are, someone that's very needy and wants to be like taken care of. And two energies in lack only creates more lack. And then it becomes like it becomes like pointless, because they want someone who, like, almost with the King of Cups and the Seven of Wands, someone that, you know, gives them a challenge. There's like no healthy, what's the word, there's like no, it's not like it's healthy competition, like someone that, like, iron sharpens iron. This person, you know, just think of a sword on a coin. You don't sharpen a sword on a coin. You sharpen it on a rock, like on stone. You don't sharpen metal with metal. Like, I mean, like they say iron sharpens irons, but it's almost like to keep it that way. Like, I don't know like how to say it. I know what I mean, but I don't know like how to say it. Yeah, because normally, or I guess you test it on stone. I don't know. Yeah, you use a stone, or at least some type of rock. It says to sharpen the sword. Yeah, to like keep it sharp. That's what I want to say. Because it says you can use a metal file to sharp the edge of a sword at 30 degrees, and then you follow it by a whetstone. So to keep it, like to refine it, basically. Yes. I knew I was going to get there. Yeah, but that's what they're looking, you know, that's what they're realizing they attract, and then it's something that they don't even want. But let's grab this guidance and advice. Alright, so what's going on? Spirit, what's the guidance and advice? Oh. What's the guidance and advice? Ooh. I don't think I've ever had this one come out, but it says, what is your honest truth? I like this. It's a 20, which is, it breaks down to a 2. So again, second house is the house of Taurus. What do you value? I will look and see where Taurus sits for you in your houses. If you haven't checked out that video as a basic quick way to see where the energy is playing out for you, definitely do check your houses. I would check your house of Taurus. 20 is also judgment, so I would check your house of Scorpio. I would check Leo, where you have Leo, and I would check where you have Pisces, as well as Cancer. And it says, prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy, which is this up here. So the way that you get to, prosperity, which is almost like the Ace of Coins, like that's what I'm seeing anyway. How do you create that? And it's by, investing in the people, places, and things that actually have value. So I would look at whatever's in, like I said, where these energies sits for you. Scorpio, Taurus, because that would be the second house. Wherever Leo is for you, and Pisces and Cancer. Let's see what this says. And this is just further confirming. Oh, I didn't mean to put him back in the deck. Further confirming the reality check for this King of Swords. So it says the essential meanings. What is your honest truth? Total authenticity and transparency, a glorious unveiling of spirit, clear and compelling communication that comes from the heart, finding the key to abundance by finding what is true and right for your soul. The self-care message, a need to peel back the many layers of your own truth, holding on to masks for protection, a true dive into your own heart with love and compassion, a need to pay closer attention to the shadow aspect of your story, areas where you may be denying your truest desires and your true essence. We hold on to many layers of truth. Truths we learn from our parents, the ones we've learned during lived experiences, and the ones that our ego holds onto in order to lovingly protect us from the world. You've outgrown a layer, and it's time to do some shedding in order to curate the best framework for your future. At the base of all of your learned truths lies a different sort of truth, an underlying true essence, and this core foundation is refusing to be quiet or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now, as an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Perhaps a soul purpose, a sacred contract, or a destiny is unveiling your truest truth and your honest truth, excuse me. Perhaps it's reminding you now that you are here for a reason. When you strip it all down to the soul, what work are you being called to do? And why are you here at this time? Do you believe soul purpose can change and evolve over time? What were you doing the last time you felt insecure or inauthentic? And what did you do or think to create that situation? How do you feel when you are most authentically you? Is there a negative belief about yourself or about your abilities that are holding you back? A story about circumstance? How can you tap into the infinite nature of your soul and shift your thinking on this? I love it, y'all. This was good. Can I get one for the honest truth? What's your honest truth? Yeah, that you're not happy. For some of you, you have to, that's, part of your truth with the Five of Cups. You're not happy. You're not, emotionally satisfied in wherever it is that you are. Um, Also, that, be truthful about the shame and the regret that you feel. Allow yourself to feel it. In regards to, especially like with the Seven of Swords here at the bottom, your past actions. Because it didn't, like, it left you, moving out of a Seven of Swords energy, whether, you were being self-serving instead of being of service. So that is part of the reason why you're lacking, because you weren't, worried about extending care and love and nurturing and comfort to others. You were trying to take it. So of course, be real with yourself about it if that's what you were doing, because that's the only way to move forward and alleviate the crossroads that you're at and staying in this Ten of Wands energy. Release yourself from the burden that you created. But be honest. Be honest. So there we have it, y'all. That is the weekend vibe reading. I loved it. I definitely hope that it resonated for some of you, and if not, it just wasn't your story. I hope everyone, has a safe weekend and enjoys to the best of their ability. And if I didn't already say, I thank y'all for tuning in with me, and I will see you all on the next one. All right, later.